is looking to make his Grand National main event. He'll have a national number next year if he does so, but he's got the 80B out there. Also, the 11C is one of our other riders that does not have a national number quite yet. And here we go. Expert heat race number 1 on the line. Laps are a little bit different here on the Mega Mile. This one is 6 laps, the qualifying distance in the expert class. Heat race number 1, light turns green, and they are off. From the outside is Brian Smith. From the inside is Robbie Pearson, and they're putting Jake Johnson right there in the middle of the sandwich. It'll be Brian Smith. He'll lead him into 1 and 2. Robbie Pearson goes from the inside to the outside of the track. Now he brings it back to the bottom. He's in second. Looks like the 42 Brian Smith already is tucked in as small as he can get down the back straightaway. Baker back there in third. Here comes the rider from deep in the field, and he takes over the third spot. Lap number 1 here, the Grand National Expert class. Brian Smith at the point. Last week's winner at the Indy Mile, looking for to go back-to-back on the 2013 season. He's the only 2-time winner this year so far. And here he comes off a turn number 4 to let you bring him down the front straightaway. Heat race number 1, Grand National Experts. We'll let you listen to him. It is the Piper out front. Brian Smith in the lead. Second spot was Robbie Pearson. Third was Matt Weidman on the Scott Power Sports number 20 Kawasaki. So Weidman's making his way through the pack. Brad Baker back there in fourth. Jake Johnson on the Ducati in fifth. Stevie Bonzi in sixth. Very important to run up front in the expert heat races. If you make it to that dash for cash, you got bonus points coming your way and a big paycheck at the end of that dash for cash. Your leader's breaking away just a little bit, just like he did last week. Gets the Piper. Brian Smith, number 42, bringing him off of 4. Here comes Smith, Pearson, and Weidman. Your top 3 remain the same. Brad Baker now is tucked in the 4th spot. As they go across the start-finish line, your running order looks like this. It's Brian Smith, Robbie Pearson, Matt Weidman, Brad Baker, Jake Johnson, Stevie Bonzi, Jeff Carver, Corey Crawford, Shane Fox, and, of course, Evan Baird did not make the start. Heat race number 1, Grand National Experts. Brian Smith out front by about a half a second so far here early on in heat race number 1. He's on a Kawasaki. Robbie Pearson sitting in second. He's listed on a Harley-Davidson. Not sure which bike he's riding today. He's got a couple options. Halfway flags coming out this time by. Here comes your leader. Breaking away. It's the 42, Brian Smith. Smith up front, now a new rider taking over the second spot momentarily. It is Robbie Pearson. Pearson on a Kawasaki. Here comes the Bullet. Brad Baker going to work. Baker goes to the inside of the racetrack, and he's worked his way from 4th up to 2nd. He knows the championship implications are on the line. If he makes the dash for cash, he's guaranteed to pick up some points if he can finish in the top 5 spots of that dash. Now Robbie Pearson takes over 2nd once again down the back chute. Last time by was Brian Smith, Robbie Pearson, Brad Baker, your top 3. Weidman, Johnson, Bonzi, and Carver. 2 laps to go will come out this time by. Brian Smith in control, one of the riders up against the hay bales. Here they come, throwing the roost. Good battle back here for 2nd spot. Your leader, Brian Smith. 2nd, Robbie Pearson. 3rd is the Bullet, Brad Baker. 4th is Weidman. 5th, Johnson. 6th, Bonzi. 7th, Carver. 8th, Corey Crawford. And Shane Fox rounds out your field. Good battle for 2nd place. Very important in the points race, ladies and gentlemen. If Baker cannot make it to that dash for cash, he won't gain any points. And Brian Smith is closing on our leader in the point standings. Obviously, if he can hang on to the win, he will make that dash for cash. Robbie Pearson leaves the throttle on longer as they go down there into turn number 3. So it's Pearson in 2nd. The Bullet, Brad Baker in the 3rd spot. Baker on the inside, Pearson on the outside. But here's your leader way out front. White flag coming out for your leader, 42, flying Brian Smith. 2nd, Pearson. 3rd, Baker. 4th is Weidman. 5th is Johnson. Bonzi, Carver, and Corey Crawford. 1 more lap to go around the Mega Mile. It is getting tight once again for 2nd place. But Brian Smith, he said, I'm out of here. Last time by, he was leading by 1.3 seconds. The pass been overtaken for 2nd. Now the Bullet, Brad Baker, is in the 2nd spot. Leader's got 1 more corner to go around this beautiful racetrack here at Colonial Downs. Here comes your leader looking for the checkered flag. Some call him the Piper, some call him Flying Brian. Off at turn number 4, it is Brian Smith picking up the win. Now Baker having problems in in second spot. He starts coasting. Baker loses power on the number 12 and goes towards the end of the race, or into the pack. More stuff comes flying out across the racetrack. So Baker lost power on the number 12. Now he's trying to find his brakes. So everything changed right there at the very end. So we lost 27 and the 12. So here is how they finished. Check this out. Jake Johnson comes up from 5th to finish in 2nd. Flying Brian Smith takes the win. What a change we had on that last lap. Brian Smith, your winner on the 42. Jake Johnson on the Ducati, number 5, finishes 2nd. 3rd spot, number 80, Stevie Bonzi. 4th will be the 23 of Jeff Carver. Those guys were all back in the pack and worked their way up, so that proves to you never, ever give up. Robbie Pearson finishes 5th, Matt Weidman 6th, Brad Baker 7th, Corey Crawford 8th, Shane Fox 9th, and Evan Bear finishes out your top 10. What a change in events we had in that one. Let's go trackside with Bear Boone in just a moment. The winner, Brian Smith, will be along.
Man, you're right, Scotty. That has implications. National number 12, Brad the Bullet Baker, leading the points by 33 over the man who just won this heat race. National number 42, the Piper, Brian Smith, coming off a win at the Cal Expo at the Sacramento Mile, and now coming off of a victory at the Indy Mile last weekend and putting it on the front row, and more importantly in the Dash for Cash here this weekend. So this is a great potential points move for this rider on the Crosley Radio Kawasaki. National number 42, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for the Piper, Brian Smith. Baker having problems. You won, and you're in the Dash for Cash in front row of the main. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, I got a good start and just put my head down. I looked back, I seen Brad was in 2nd, and I said, man, I wish somebody could get in front of him, and evidently had some troubles. But I'm sure he'll be back strong in the main, so we'll have to deal with him.
He's got to do it up through the semi. It looked like the Crosley Radio machine working just like you wanted to here today.
Yeah, it was great. This bike's a dream to ride, and I'm just out there having a ton of fun, and luckily it's all working out for me.
He's in a points chase, ladies and gentlemen, and he's trying to win his 3rd mile here in 2013. One more time for the Piper, Brian Smith.
It looks like they're doing a little bit more track maintenance before we bring out our next heat race. We'd like to thank the folks at Arena Racing for their support here today. Arena Racing is drivers in half-scale stock cars racing around a $500,000 high-banked racetrack that barely fits inside a hockey rink. They turn laps under 8 seconds flat while competing side-by-side bumping, rubbing, flipping, and racing inside the Richmond Coliseum to get their share of over $50,000 in cash paid out over the season. Stop by their trackside booth today to get 2 free tickets to their first opening night, November the 9th, so that is pretty cool. You can do that right here today. Stop by and get some free tickets. Lots of cool stuff happening here today at the Virginia Mega Mile. Don't forget there's an after party after the races here today, and many more things going on at the end of the races today. The pit area will be open to meet the stars of today's show. Stop by and get your souvenir program and koozie. You can get them both for $5, or the programs are only $3. Visit Colonial Downs this fall for the 16th annual harness racing season. Win money and have fun as pacers and trotters compete over harness racing's only one turn mile racetrack. Action takes place every Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday from September 18th through October the 27th. Visit colonialdowns.com for all the details. So we got that stuff happening here at this beautiful racetrack. Also, Colonial Downs would like to thank Screamin' Motorsports for their generous support of today's event, serving the areas of West Point, the Peninsula, Middle Peninsula, and Northern Neck regions of Virginia. Screamin' Motorsports provides maintenance and repairs for motorcycles, jet skis, and all-terrain vehicles. So track maintenance just about done, and we'll bring out heat race number 2 for the Grand National experts.
Because you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. I said you look so fine that I really want to make you mine. 4, 5, 6, just come on and get your kicks. Now you don't need the money when you look like that, do you, honey? A big black...
Here is your starting lineup for Expert Heat Race number 2.
Expert Heat Race number 2 looks like this on the pole from Wynn, Michigan on the Ducati 749, number 17, Hammer and Hank Henry Wiles. From Coatesville, Pennsylvania on the Triumph Bonneville, number 10, Johnny Lewis. Starting third from Philpott, Kentucky, riding the Kawasaki EX650, number 95, JD Beach. In the fourth starting spot from Port Colborne, Ontario, Canada, number 53, Don Taylor. Starting in the fifth starting spot from Campo, California on the Bonneville Performance Factory Triumph, number 91, Mikey Martin. In the sixth starting spot on the KTM North America KTM from Grand Blanc, Michigan, number 51, Steve Murray. In row number 2, starting in the seventh starting spot, number 32, Sean Bear. Number 22, Lucas Sherb, and rounding out your field, number 69F, that is Ben Evans. Starting lineup for Heat Race number 2, they told him to fire up. And now they told him to shut him off. Let's see what's going on down there. I thought they're bringing him out. Heat race number 2 is just about ready. They're checking out something between 3 and 4. I don't know if it's an airbag down there or no. A deer. There's a deer between turn 3 and number 4. So a deer wants to sign up. I say we put number plates on him and let him loose. What do you think? Not sure where he's at, but they said there's a deer over there between 3 and 4 somewhere on the racetrack. I say let's race him. What do you think? We could have some fresh deer jerky a little later on, maybe. I'm just kidding. Now they're trying to catch him. I put money on the deer. What do y'all think? Oh, I see him. He's over there in turns. He's in turn 3 now. He's a little bitty deer, and I see him. He's racing around the air fence. Watch out. He's trying to jump over the air fence now. You guys can see he's on the outside corner of turn number 3. Now he's racing down the back straight. We got to tell him he's going the wrong way. There he goes. All right, he's in the woods now. Let's fire him up one more time. So everything happens when you come to a new facility. Woo! I thought we were going to put some number plates on and bring him to the starting line. So we're going to fire him up one more time. Heat race number 2, Grand National Experts. Remember that in the heat races, top 2 finishers will go to the Dash for Cash. Top 4 finishers will all directly transfer to the main event. Chad Coast, number 49, he's listening at home at the AMA Pro Live. He said, let the deer race. I agree. So here comes the Experts. Heat race number 2, staging up to the line. We got one Ducati already in the main event as Jake Johnson hung on to the second transfer in that last heat race. So that was quite an interesting finish order for sure. As the second and third place riders both had troubles. They'll send them out one lap again to use to check out the racetrack, and they'll stage them up and turn them loose. Expert Heat race number 2 coming to the line here at the Mega Mile. If you guys want to watch the live timing and scoring, you can do that on your smartphone. If you have an Apple, you can go to the App Store, pick up the free app, or there's a 99-cent app. Or if you go to the marketplace, you can also pick up an app to watch the live timing and scoring, just like I have up here in the announcer's tower that I'll be using all day long here today. So in this one, we got a Ducati, Triumph, 2 Triumphs actually, a KTM, 1 Suzuki, and some Harley Davidson. So big, diverse field in heat race number 2. Hammer and Hank Henry Wiles, number 17. He's won the Peoria TT, ladies and gentlemen, 9 times in a row. Nobody else has ever done that. Chris Carr's won 8 in a row, so he took over the title, I believe, of the Prince of Peoria. Some people will debate that, but here comes Wiles pulling up to the outside of run number 1 on the 17. There is JD Beach, full-time road racer, part-time flat tracker on the TJ Burnett Farms Kawasaki. Number 10, JL10, that is Johnny Lewis. You can see he's got some hand guards on there like you'd use to go riding through the woods to keep that cushion from blowing onto his fingers. Kind of a smart move. 95 looks like has the same thing. That's JD Beach. There's Don Taylor on the Werner Springsteen Monster Energy Kawasaki. Don Taylor, a multi-time Canadian national champion. Steve Murray pulls up the 51 to the inside of row number 1. That is a KTM North America sponsored entry. Steve Murray from Grand Blanc, Michigan. There's the 91, Mikey Martin on the Bonneville Performance Triumph. Here we go. Heat race number 2, Grand National Experts. 10-second board, it's up, it's already down. Here we go. Heat race number 2 on the line. First, second, third, and fourth wall transfer to the main event. Light goes green, they drop the clutches. Murray gets the shot from the inside. Steve Murray, the 51, will lead him into the first turn. Second right now is Johnny Lewis, JL10. Around the outside comes Hammer and Hank Henry Wiles. Lewis takes over the lead in the second turn. It's Lewis and looks like Steve Murray. Wiles stuck out there on the high side. Here comes another rider up the inside. That'll be Don Taylor, I believe. It's going to be anybody's race here in this one. Down the back straight, they go. They're 2 wide for the lead. As they go into turn number 3, they are 2 wide out front. Here they come. Johnny Lewis, somebody goes way around the outside, the long way around, and takes over the lead. They'll bring him back this direction. Heat race number 2 on the racetrack. Grand National Expert Twins. I believe that is Don Taylor out front. We'll wait and see as they blast past the start-finish line. Don Taylor, Steve Murray. J.D. Beach now making the charge. Look how high they're riding over there. Johnny Lewis goes up even higher. He's up by the air fence to get out of the roost. Now we got a new second-place rider. That'll be Jiggy Dog. J.D. Beach takes over second, but out front is the Canadian champion, 53, Don Taylor, on the Warner Springsteen Racing Monster Energy Kawasaki. Steve Murray's hanging on right there, trying to get a transfer spot. J.D. Beach is also there on the 95, T.J. Burnett Farms Kawasaki. Good racing out here. Heat race number 2 on the racetrack. They'll bring him off at turn number 4 down the front side. It's Don Taylor at the point. Looks like J.D. Beach now sitting in the 2 spot. Third spot still looks like Steve Murray's hanging up there. Now it's Wiles in the 3rd spot. Johnny Lewis in 4th. Murray's off the pace just a little bit, slipping back out of the leader's grasp. Side-by-side battle for the lead. Here comes J.D. Beach. He said, I'm not running second anymore. He's going to the front. Now here comes Don Taylor. He's not going to use the draft. He's going to go around the outside down the back chute. They are side by side for the lead. J.D. Beach on the 95. Don Taylor on the 53 Kawasaki's. Third spot will be Henry Wiles on the Ducati, number 17. Looking to make it 2 Ducatis in the main event here today. Halfway flags will fly this time by for your leader. Looks like J.D. Beach has gotten out front, is breaking away just a little bit. It is Beach, Don Taylor, Wiles, the 10 of Johnny Lewis, 91 of Martin. Look at the battle for second place, ladies and gentlemen. If you get in that roost, remember, that'll slow you down. I guarantee you at least 5 miles per hour. One rider slowing down on the front straightaway. Down the back chute they go. The 4th place rider tucks in and drafts. He's going to try to go around. Now he's going to split the middle. Now he goes up the inside. That's Don Taylor coming back into the 2nd spot. Don Taylor drifted back just a little bit. Now he's working his way back towards the front. Ben Evans off the pace on the 69F right here on the front straightaway. Sounded like the engine was cut down just a little bit as he went across the start-finish line last time by. Way out front, J.D. Beach. 95 sees 2 laps to go for your leader. Don Taylor in 2nd. Johnny Lewis 3rd. Wiles in 4th. 91, Mikey Martin back there in the 5th spot. Murray in the 6th position. Behind Murray is Sean Bear, Lucas Sherb, and Ben Evans off the track. Nobody's breaking away in this one. It is J.D. Beach. 2nd spot, Don Taylor. Johnny Lewis up there on the factory Triumph. Both Triumphs are up there in the top 5 spots. Remember, only the top 2 make the dash. Top 4 will go directly to the main event. J.D. Beach trying a different line now over there in 3 and 4. Looks like he's going up the racetrack just a little bit, possibly chasing the moisture or looking at the different options he might have for the 25-lap main. Here he comes. White flag is out for your leader, J.D. Beach, Philpott, Kentucky. 1 more mile and a quarter to go. Johnny Lewis now in 2nd, Wiles in 3rd, Don Taylor in 4th. Watch Mikey Martin on the Triumph try to take over the 5th spot. J.D. Beach goes up high, wide, and handsome the long way around, and he loses some time. Here comes the 2nd place rider trying to make the pass, Johnny Lewis, trying to come around and take the win of this one. Heat race number 2, Grand National Experts. Leaders in turn number 3 already. It's J.D. Beach and Johnny Lewis, 1 and 2. Beach running the high line. Lewis back to the bottom of the racetrack. Kawasaki Triumph, 1 and 2. Here they come for the checkered flag. Heat race number 2 is coming to the end. J.D. Beach takes a look over his shoulder. He'll hang on to the victory. Johnny Lewis makes the dash. Wiles in the third spot. And Mikey Martins, the Triumph, also in the main. There goes Don Taylor, high, wide, and handsome. He's up against the air fence, and somehow he stays it off of the air fence. Wow, I thought Don Taylor was going to go for a ride over here in turns 1 and 2. One rider is coming to a slow over there off the corner. So your winner, 95, J.D. Beach on the Kawasaki. Second, number 10, Johnny Lewis on a Triumph. Third on the Ducati. Both Ducatis are in the main. That is Henry Wiles. Hammer and Hank goes to the main. 91, Mikey Martin also puts the second Triumph in the main event. That's your top 4 finishers. Don Taylor, Steve Murray, Luke Scherb, Sean Baer, and Ben Evans are all headed to a semifinal. So it takes a little while to get these guys cooled down. They'll be up there. Our winner's going to go meet my partner, Barry Boone, in just a moment. What did you think of that heat race, Barry?
Man, it was a great show. J.D. Beach putting on a good show. J.D. rides for the Road Race Factory in the Geico Motorcycle AMA Pro Road Racing season full-time on his R6 Yamaha. But here he has been able to make a start, fortunately, with us here this weekend, coming off a 5th-place finish at the Indy Mile last weekend, a 3rd-place podium finish at the Peoria Race Park for the Peoria TT. And Jiggy Dog is on the front row of this evening's Harley-Davidson main event, and more importantly, in the Dash for Cash. A great show for number 95. Give it up for J.D. Beach. J.D., great to have you back in flat track, even if for a few rounds. Congratulations on your win. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. Like you said, I'm a full-time road racer, part-time dirt tracker, and I don't think I'm doing too bad, I guess.
You're winning the game.
Yeah, but no, I mean, this track's awesome. I just got to thank all the fans for coming out. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be racing. But, I mean, I just got a pretty good start, went to the top of the track, and just went for it, and it was pretty fun.
The TJ Burnett Farms machine looks like it's running just like you wanted to here today.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Barry, this bike's running amazing. I just got to thank TJ Burnett, James Hart, Billy Gruwell. I mean, just everybody who's helping put this program together, and we're just going week in, week out, and these bikes are always running amazing.
Top 2 finishers from every heat race go directly to the Dash for Cash, and front row of the main, ladies and gentlemen, J.D. Beach has done it, number 95 from Philpott, Kentucky.
Thanks a lot, Barry. Good job down there. Congratulations to J.D. Beach making the main. Colonial Downs would like to thank Tom McGrath's Motorcycle Law Group for their generous support of today's event. Since the early 1990s, the Motorcycle Law Group has been protecting motorcyclists' rights on the road. Stop by their booth at the Market Showplace for more information on how they can help you. Also, don't forget to get your souvenir T-shirts. They're on sale at either end of the grandstands. The souvenir trailer is down here by the pit side, which is by turn number 1. And they have several options for things to purchase. And there's another 10x10 booth over here at the other end of the grandstands. And remember, the pit area will be open immediately following the Grand National main event for you to go down there and meet the stars of the races today and get some autographs and all that good stuff. Don't forget about the after party immediately following the races today from 4 to 5. Enjoy dollar hot dogs, free ice cream, live music with Moe's Garage on the concert stage, prize drawings, a Quaker Steak Atomic Chicken Wing Eating Contest, motorcycle rider meet and greet, and more. Sign up for the wing eating contest at the gift shop today. So it's a cool stuff happening here at the Mega Mile. Beautiful facility. I love pulling into this racetrack. It was awesome, Barry.
And even more importantly, Scotty, looking out from one end of this front stretch all the way to the end of the other and seeing nothing but a sea of race fans here in Virginia. You guys coming out in great numbers to support the first ever event here at Colonial Downs. So I want to ask all these fans a question. How many want to see this race come back on the schedule in 2014 to right here? Woohoo! Man, oh man, just a really good thing to look out here, Scotty, and see just thousands of folks enjoying Grand National Flat Track here in Virginia.
It is awesome indeed. So the water trucks look like they are pulling off right now. They're going to fire up the engine. So here we go. Expert heat race number 3.
Let's make the field for our starting lineup. Expert heat race number 3.
On the pole, ladies and gentlemen, from Clio, Michigan, the racing lady from Clio, Michigan on the Global Products Black Hills Harley-Davidson, number 15, Nicole Cheza. In the number 2 starting spot on the TJ Burnett USC Kawasaki from Oxford, Pennsylvania, number 44, Brandon Robinson. From Clio, Michigan, Nicole Cheza's fiance for one more week, number 1, the Jammer, Jared Meese. Starting in the 4th starting spot from Morris, Connecticut, on the factory Harley-Davidson Motor Company Screaming Eagle entry number 2, Kenny Coolbeth Jr. In the 5th starting spot from Salinas, California on the Monster Energy Warner Springsteen Kawasaki, number 14, Briar Bauman. In the 6th starting spot, your Saddlemen Seats and Saddlebags Rookie of the Year leader from Glenmore, Pennsylvania, 55A, that's Jake Shoemaker. In the 7th starting spot, number 59B, Jake Constantine. In the 8th starting spot, Wild Thing from Australia, ladies and gentlemen, number 87, Mick Kirkness. And in the 9th starting spot from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, 64C, that is Jerry Steele. Those are the riders scheduled to start Expert Heat Race number 3. After this heat race, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have our first scheduled intermission. We will come back with a Pro Singles Last Chance qualifier, the Dash for Cash, 2 semis, and our second intermission, which Barry has a lot of the legends of our sport lined up. We'll meet those folks a little bit later on. And then after that second intermission will be our 2 main events. That's how the rest of the afternoon looks here at the beautiful Colonial Downs here for the Virginia Mega Mile. Nicole Cheza, she's going to do things a little bit different. She's picked the inside of the front row. She must have been paying attention to the last couple of heat races. The leader out of the inside of the front row has led him into the first 2 turns. So Nicole Cheza, she pulls up to the inside. Here comes her fiance. They are getting married next Sunday at the Springfield Mile. Jared Meese, last year's champion, and Nicole Cheza, the racing lady, will get married next Sunday at Springfield. Number 2, Kenny Coolbeth pulls up. 14, that is Briar Bauman, last year's Saddleman Rookie of the Year and the current Saddleman Rookie of the Year leader. 55A, Jake Shoemaker, outside, row number 1. 87, Mick Kirkness riding for the KTM North America team here today. So he is Steve Murray's teammate for the afternoon. The bikes are now going in gear. 10-second board, it's up, it's already down. Here we go. Heat race number 3, the final qualifying heat race of the afternoon at the Mega Mile. Light turns green and they are off. Bauman from the outside, but it's the jammer up the inside. Meese will take him into 1 and 2. We got Bauman on the outside. Brandon Robinson comes up the inside looking for second place. They're 3 wide for second. Now Robinson takes over the 2 spot. Down the back straightaway they go. We got Meese. We got one rider way off the pace. Coming up short right there on the backside. He will take his bike to the inside of the racetrack, and he is done for the heat race. 2 riders side by side for the lead. Meese had a great start. Now the rider that was all slow off the back straightaway, he's got it going again. Probably turned his gas back on, right, Barry? I've never done that before, I promise. Here they come off of turn number 4. Bringing it back this way, it's Robinson and me side by side for the lead. Coolbeth up there on the 110th anniversary Harley-Davidson bike. He's up there in the 3rd spot. Bauman in 4th. Now Nicole Cheza coming around the outside. She's looking for that 4th spot. All these riders want to directly transfer out of their heat race. Nobody wants to ride any extra laps if they can avoid it. Robinson goes back to the lead. Meese in 2nd. Coolbeth in 3rd. Now here comes Nicole Cheza up to the 3rd spot. The racing lady, number 15, moves into 3rd. She was our 3rd fastest qualifier here this afternoon. It's Meese right now at the point. I believe Robinson now is at the point. It's Robinson, Meese, and here comes Nicole Cheza. She's looking for some more. Bright orange on the front number plate right here, the front of the bike. That's the 44, Robinson. 2nd is Nicole Cheza. She puts her fiance behind her. Nicole Cheza's in the 2 spot. She goes to the high side of the racetrack. Here she comes looking for the lead. Nicole Cheza takes the lead. The leader goes down. Brandon Robinson is down. Your leader's down on the inside of turn number 3, and he is still down on the racing surface. We're waiting to see if he gets up now. Now the red light will come out. Red light will come out. Red flag is out. Robinson is the rider down. So the red flags come out. We do have red flashing lights throughout the racetracks. They're getting Brandon Robinson taken care of. You can see the red flashing light right here going into turn number 1. A tough break for Nicole Cheza. She put the Global Products Black Hills Harley-Davidson in the lead. And Barry, I know you can listen. You're listening to me, but she was running a little bit different line than the rest of these riders. So we will have our first staggered restart, I'm sure.
Yeah, my thoughts are certainly with Brandon Robinson over in turn 2. That's a relatively high-speed get-off there. Just as Nicole had made the pass, she was working her way to the front methodically, wasn't she, Scotty? Just kind of looking at those in front of her, picking them off one at a time and riding a sweet race. They'll revert back to the lap before that, I'm sure, in scoring, but Robinson was the leader, I believe, and he would be the one responsible for bringing out the red flag. So if he's able to continue, he'll go to the tail of the field. I think that still may put Nicole in the lead position on the staggered restart. We'll see.
They just showed a replay of the action. You can see right on the screen that Brandon Robinson's climbed back on board his Kawasaki. He is headed back. If he chooses to, I believe he can still switch to a backup motorcycle on that 44 TJ Burnett Kawasaki. So he's headed back this way. They showed a great replay of it on the screen. I went to the other office up here to check it out. He just lost the rear end of the wheel, just came around on him, Barry.
You know, you can have that, Scotty, down there trying to pick that throttle up. He knew he was under pressure from Nicole Cheza, and I'm sure he just grabbed a double handful of that Kawasaki EX650 Twin, and that was just enough to break the rear tire loose and put him on the ground. But it is a good sign that he's back on his feet, and there's a bunch of fans here. How about we make some noise when he gets back for national number 44 and let him know we care about him and we're thinking about him. Give it up for Brandon Robinson.
So it looks like the rest of the bikes are all heading over there. Right now they told them over there if they need to put some tear-offs on, it's a good opportunity because they did run a few laps, so they may have actually used up several of their tear-offs. So you can see some of them actually, you can see Jerry Steele right there on the 64. He actually has a towel taped to his right sleeve, so if he needs, if he runs out of tear-offs, he can use that towel to actually clean the lens on his helmet. So several different options some of these riders will choose. You can see the rest of them are actually grabbing more tear-offs right now, and they are going to head back over here in just a second. Looks like they're looking at the back end of the Coolbeth machine. That is actually Mike Hacker. That is the rider coach for the number 2 factory Harley-Davidson team. Again, Harley-Davidson celebrating 110 years next weekend in Milwaukee. Barry?
Nicole, good job moving up to the head of the class.
Yeah, I feel real good. My Global Products Black Hills Harley-Davidson feels real strong today, so hopefully we'll put her on top of the back.
Good luck to you. Nicole Cheza on the Global Products XR750, getting set to go. Back to work here is national number 15 as they give her machine a quick look over. Real quick check of Kenny Coolbeth. He's okay. Mike Hacker getting ready to put the power to this beautifully prepared factory Harley-Davidson XR750. Scotty, they're refiring them down here. It looks like we're just moments away from getting going. Here's the jammer, Jared Meese. He's got a new set of tear on the Rogers Racing Blue Springs Harley-Davidson. So the jammer gets ready to go back to work. Here's Robinson. He appears to be worse for the wear. Bike looks great, and so does he. So we're getting set to go.
Looks like he is staying on the primary motorcycle. So now they're making the staggered restart. Nicole Cheza picking the outside this time. She actually had the inside off the start, so there's a staggered restart. For your new fan, we started this just a few years back, and we stagger it so the rider behind the rider that's out front, if they don't get going, they won't run right over the back of the front vehicle or the front motorcycle, and that's for safety's sake. So they're working their way through the field. So Nicole Cheza's at the point, number 15. I'll turn the camera up here for you folks watching at home. There we go. We got it turned towards you. Nicole's on the outside starting spot. Her fiance, Jared Meese, is right there in the third spot, number 2, Keith Coolbeth Jr. on the Black Beauty, I like calling it, the beautiful 110th anniversary bike, number 2. Bauman on the 14 Monster Energy Warner Springsteen Kawasaki. Jake Shoemaker right now is in the 5th spot. He needs to pick up one more spot if he wants to make the main. There's a KTM right there, 87 Mick Kirkness, Jerry Steele, 64C, and the 59B Constantine. And way at the back, Brandon Robinson, and he'll be trying to work his way back to the front. We'll turn the camera back to the start-finish line so you folks at home can check it out. And here we go, restart. Heat race number 3, Grand National Experts, Nicole Cheza at the point. Light turns green and they are off. Nicole's not going anywhere off the start. She sits there and spins Nicole Cheza back to the 5th spot. Coolbeth says, I'll take over. Now Mick Kirkness, wild thing, goes up the inside. He's looking for the lead. Kirkness moves into the 3rd, now 4th spot. As he got a good start, but he's drifting backwards. Nicole Cheza twists the throttle on the Global Products. Black Hills Harley-Davidson up to the 4th spot. New battle for the lead. Here comes Warner all the way around the outside. That'll be Bauman. Bauman brings the Warner Springsteen Kawasaki up the inside. He's looking for the lead. Ryder on the outside leaves it on a little bit longer. Bauman slides back to the 3rd spot. Coolbeth's going to be up there to head of the class, I'm sure, on the number 2 Factory Harley Davidson, but we got a new leader bringing them off of 4. Here they come back at us. At the Mega Mile, it's Meese and Coolbeth, 1 and 2, and that's the numbers. 1, 2, and 14. Nicole Chesna's worked her way back up to the 4 spot. She goes to the high side around Bauman. Nicole Chesna now up to the 3rd spot. She's in the roost right now with the leaders. We got number 1 and number 2. Last year's champion and 3-time champion, 1st and 2nd. Here comes Nicole Chesna on the Global Products Harley. She goes by the Factory Harley up the inside. Now here comes Bauman on the Kawasaki. They're 4, now 5 wide, ladies and gentlemen. Look at them go in turn number 3. Everybody trying to get to the head class. They're going to bring them off of turn number 4. They're sorting things out just a little bit. Bauman dove in deep on the Kawasaki. Bringing them off of 4. Here they come. It's 1. Now 44. Robinson comes from the tail end of the field to lead. And Nicole Chesna's looking up the inside for 2nd. Nicole takes over 2nd spot. Now she's looking for the lead. It's Nicole Chesna up the inside. Brandon Robinson on the outside. Jared Meese, Kenny Coolbeth are in tow as they go down the backstraway. Nicole Chesna's at the point. Here comes Robinson grabbing a handful on that Kawasaki. Robinson goes by. Jared Meese goes by. Nicole back there in the 3rd spot. Side by side for 3rd. Once again, here comes Robinson up the inside, taking over the lead. White flag coming out this time by. Final heat race of the afternoon. Robinson's going to lead him. Remember, he started at the tail end of the field. That's the rider that went down leading the heat race. And he is at the point. Actually, it's Meese now at the point. Brandon Meese. Now here comes Robinson with the draft pass. Robinson, Meese. Nicole Chesna, Kenny Coolbeth looking for a way around. He moves into the 4 spot. Top 4 will transfer. Now Kenny Coolbeth is in the 4 spot. Down the back straightaway they go. It is Robinson, Meese. Here comes Nicole Chesna in 3rd. They'll use the draft down the back straightaway. Meese goes up the inside. Now Nicole Chesna comes up the very inside. Nicole Chesna goes to the lead into 3. Who's going to win this one? Checkered flag will wave this time by. One rider slipping a little bit wide. Who's going to be lead him off of turn number 4? If I'm not mistaken, it is Nicole Chesna. We will find out in just a moment. Here they come. They tuck in. They try to get as small as they can. Drafting down the front straightaway. It is Meese. Here comes Fiance. 1 and 2. What a great race we had out there. Probably the best race of the afternoon. Definitely the best race for the twins here in heat race action. Your winner, last year's Grand National Champion, number 1, Jared Meese, and he won by .037 seconds over Nicole Chesna. 3rd spot to the 44, Brandon Robinson. So Nicole Chesna and Jared Meese will make that dash for cash. 3rd spot, Brandon Robinson. 4th spot, Briar Bauman. Those 4 transfer to the main event. So Coolbeth, Shoemaker, Constantine, Kirkness, and Steele will all be headed to a semifinal. Ladies and gentlemen, after this interview down there on the front straightaway, we'll take our first scheduled intermission. It'll be a good time to stretch your legs, grab yourself something to eat, something to drink. But we do have one interview before that, and we'll have about a 10-minute intermission. Come back with our last chance qualifier, Dash for Cash, and 2 semifinals here today at the Mega Mile. Let's go trackside with my partner, Barry Boone.
Got to ask them, ladies and gentlemen, how'd you like that Harley Davidson Expert Heat Race? That's what I'm talking about right there. And we've got a chase on right here in our points for 2013. And this guy is 4th in series points, but he loves these miles. And today, having a great day, just beat his fiance. We'll ask him about that as he brings the Blue Springs Harley Davidson up to the top of the box by Rogers Racing. Pardon me? Nicole got second. His first question, how did my bride-to-be do? And you beat her across the stripe, but you're both in this afternoon's Dash for Cash. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big hand for national number 1, the Jammer, Jared Meese. Jammer, great race, great race.
Man, that was cool to battle with my future right for sure. Let's give it up for Nicole Chesna, man. That was awesome.
They were giving it up for her all race long, I got to tell you. Man, Robinson had a good bike. Nicole had a great bike, and you did too. But you're the one on top of the box, front row of the main, and in the dash. That's got to be how you like it.
Definitely. I was going in the last corner, and I felt Nicole come up the inside, and I'm like, man, last time I was that, that's last time I checked, I had a bigger set, so I'm going to run it off in that corner.
Well, no doubt that had to be fun racing with the future Mrs. Meese coming up here Labor Day weekend. Congratulations on a really good start to your day.
Thanks. I can't say enough for Rogers Racing, SDI Insulation, Las Vegas, Blue Springs, Harley Davidson, Saddlemen. Twin Power, BriggsAuto.com. My mechanic, Kenny, thanks so much. My family for coming out. It's really cool. And track's starting to shape up for me, so I'm excited.
The Rogers Racing Blue Springs Harley-Davidson XR750 is on the front row of the main and the Dash for Cash. One more time, give it up for the jammer, Jared Mees.